Cincinnati that did a report raising concerns about the rodent evidence in terms of the homes being protected. Apparently there's not 24-hour security anymore of those homes, and there was questions about the chain of evidence. Can you respond to that report, and if you have any concerns or if you plan on changing the way that the property is being protected?
Well, I can't really speak to how the property is protected 24/7. Sheriff Reeder is in charge of that, and I'm not down there every day. But let me try to put this in its proper perspective. Almost every single crime scene is released within 24 to 72 hours after the crime has occurred. So the idea that we have a chain of evidence problem is ludicrous. The evidence was taken from the crime scene. If you recall, our crime scene investigators got to the crime scenes about 11 a.m. that morning. They stayed until about 4 or 5 a.m. the next morning. So within that almost 24-hour period of time, they worked that crime scene very, very hard. From the time they walk in the door, they work it from the front all the way back to the back. So there was evidence that was taken, there was evidence that was preserved, there was evidence that was taken to our crime lab, and it's been worked by our crime lab. That evidence has been preserved, and there is the adequate chain of evidence that every trial lawyer knows you have to have. The reason we wanted to keep the crime scenes, one of the reasons I wanted to keep the crime scenes, is frankly, I wanted to be able to use them if there was what's called a jury view at the trial. Judges, within their own discretion, can allow the jury to go look at the crime scene. And so I wanted to be able to preserve this crime scene enough so that we could actually do that if that's what the judge ordered when there was a trial. Second reason it was kept is we wanted to have the convenience of being able to walk back into that crime scene and literally look at it as the investigation was continuing. There also was a remote possibility that as you move forward in an investigation, months later, that you get a new lead on something and you have to go look at something that is up on that crime scene. So, you know, I think it's ridiculous to say that we've had any chain of evidence problem. I was a former prosecutor. I did this for a while. So I don't think we have that problem.
You don't think it needs to be secured 24/7?
Well, again, that's up to the sheriff. I don't know that's not secure 24/7. I mean, I know where it is. I've been in there. I've looked at it. It's at a private business. We all knew that going in. And it's basically in a warehouse. So that's where it was taken. That's where we operated out of during the investigation, or at least one stage of the investigation. We're at a different venue now. So I'm not concerned about this. And I think the public just should understand, you know, evidence was taken from that crime scene. It has been secured, and that chain of evidence is being protected, and will be there, and we'll have that evidence when we go to trial.
Any updates on the case that you can give us? It's been quite some time now, and still no arrests.
You know, we knew all along this could take a while. I will tell you that I know a lot more about Pike County today than I did when we started. I know a lot more about some of the criminal activity that's been going on in Pike County than I did before we started. We have some leads, but I'm not going to go any further. One thing I would say, and I would say to the people of Pike County, but specifically to people who have not come forward, and there are some people out there who have more information or have not been totally candid with us. My message today to you is that it's going to be much better for you if you voluntarily come forward and tell us the truth and tell us the whole truth than have to wait for us to go grab you and bring you in and talk with you. So this is, you can call it a warning, you can call it just stating the facts, but if I knew something about what happened in that murder and I had not told the police, now would be a really good time to come forward and do it. It's going to be much better for you if you come forward with that information than if you wait until we get some tip, other information, and then we go after you and bring you in and then talk to you.
Do you think this is solvable?
I've always felt that this murder was solvable. I've always felt it was going to be difficult. when you find, my experience has been when you find one body, the police find one body, and there's no witnesses, those are difficult cases. In this case, we had 8 bodies with no witnesses. And so, I wouldn't say it's 8 times harder, but it certainly complicates things. So I still believe that we are going to solve this case. I cannot tell you when that's going to occur. But, you know, I've been involved in scene cases that have taken a long, long time. But when the police, the investigators are persistent and stay on it, which we are, and that's what we're doing. We still have agents there. We're still working very closely with the sheriff. I'm convinced that we eventually will find the murderers.
Changing gears a little